Retro Rob plays everything.
Hello gamers, Retro Robot here, and it's time for another haul video.
Got some kind of interesting stuff, and it's well mixed, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna get going right away and start with the PlayStation. This is Shooter Starfighter Sandvine, I think, or Sandvane, or I don't know. But anyway, it's a sequel to a game I showed you guys a couple weeks ago that is supposed to be quite a bit better than the original. Pretty cheap to get, which is kind of unusual for PlayStation shooters, but supposedly a decent game. So I'm pretty happy to have it. Seems to be pretty much complete. Next, impulse pickups were kind of the thing this week. This was $5. We're at the Five Below store, and Yokai Watch was there for the 3DS for $5. Actually, I think it was on clearance for like $3. So we couldn't even make it as a $5 item. Got fairly decent reviews. I guess it's a little bit like Pokemon, so there's a good chance I'll never play it. But I might give it a swing if I get some spare time. But anyway, looks interesting. New in box, and it's for the 3DS, so I wasn't going to just kick it to the curb. Here's something the wife picked up for me. This is Star Fox 64. I was looking for it for quite a while, and basically she ran into it a couple times and finally decided to go ahead and pick it up. I think she got it for me on Amazon. But anyway, yeah, Star Fox 64 3D. Pretty decent game. I'm not hugely into the 3DS, but I do think it's got a lot of solid stuff that you can play. And I have always liked the Star Fox series, so pretty happy about this. Graphics look interesting too. Next, this one's Vidya Gamer's fault. So if you're watching, this is all your fault. He got it, and I had to have it because I have to have every Zelda game. So there we have Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening for the Switch. Looks pretty good. The main reason why I'm doing this video is so I can bust this open and play it very soon, because I'm pretty hyped to play it. You can tell by my demeanor that I'm totally hyped to play it. I'm a little tired. Alright, next, Daemon X Machina. And I have been playing this one. This one just came out about a week ago. It's kind of a mech game. It doesn't have like, well, it does have like, you know, individual weapon hard points that you load up. It's like really flexible that way. Plenty of weapons, fun game to play, but it's not like the Mech Warrior series where you can take damage to the weapon and the weapon's gone. It's more like a one set of hit points for the entire mech type of game, but it is fun to play. It's pretty nuanced. I'm having a hard time getting through the first boss though. Jeez, really hard, but well, at least it seems to be hard to me, but maybe there's something I'm not getting about that first boss, but well worth playing. Really just fun. You might have an easier time. Sometimes I arbitrarily have a hard time with bosses that I probably shouldn't have. Anyway, next we've got Jeanne D'Arc. Jeanne
D'Arc.
Whatever. Joan of Arc, for crying out loud. For the PSP, which is a pretty famous game for this. I used to have it back in the day, the first time I collected for the PSP, and I picked up another copy of it because this one was pretty cheap. I think it was like $20, which is pretty insane. This tends to be kind of a high-priced game, but it's constantly on the top 10 lists of great games to get for the PSP, so I'm glad to have it. I finally picked up a second Sears Video Arcade 2 Atari 2600 controller. I've been looking for one of these for a while, and finally one showed up on eBay for about $15, and I decided to grab it. Looks like it's in pretty much new condition, feels decent. If you've never used one of these before, they are a wrist breaker, but it's the one I grew up with. One of the really nice things is, see, it's also a paddle. It's a joystick and a paddle. Pretty darn cool thing. Next, we have another PSP game, which is Pirates. In my opinion, this particular version of Pirates is the absolute best one. I really enjoy playing it on the PSP. Great version. The graphics just seem to work for it still, probably because of the small screen. You don't notice the sins as much, but really just one of the all-time great games for the system as well, and really probably one of the all-time great games of all time. Even the original was amazing, but this was a remake later. They're due for another remake, don't you think? Don't you think there should be another Pirates remake? Let me know in the comments down below. Couple things left. I'm going to show you this right away. If any of you guys have an Xbox One Elite controller, you know that the rubber handles at the bottom peel away. So this is a replacement casing for it. Mine's black right now. I'm thinking about two-toning it so that the bottom's white and the top's black. But we'll see how it works out. I might do it all white. Not 100% sure yet. And it also depends on how this feels. But anyway, I gotta fix up my Xbox Elite controller because it just looks horrible now. The rubber is actually getting in the way of gameplay at this point. So it's time. Next is another Five Below pickup, which is Surviving Mars. And it was yet another one that was on clearance. It's actually got pretty good reviews, at least on Steam. So playing it on the Xbox should be interesting. I don't buy a whole lot of Xbox One games. I do play the Xbox One a lot. I mean, I probably play it about as much as I play anything. It gets played probably almost every night. But all I ever play with it is Call of Duty. I mean, that's it. It's World War II or nothing, basically, on that system. Anytime there's a new Call of Duty, I end up playing it. But mostly it's just been World War II now. So need to have something different to play on it, I suppose, to try. Next, I got an official PSP charging cable, which I've got like a selection of fake ones. I bought another one off of eBay that was supposed to be a real one, and I didn't look real close. That's a big mistake, by the way, that I do all the time. Which I don't look real close at the picture, but it was a fake. I mean, it was labeled as original OEM PSP Power Supply, and it absolutely wasn't. It was like the fakest power supply ever. So then I ordered this one from Walmart online. It was only $8. The other one was $16. Go figure. All right, I got one last thing that was another one of those impulse buys. I don't know if I regret it or not, but the reviews are pretty bad on it, and that is Tenkai Knights Brave Battle, which I hear the game's pretty bad, but it came with this awesome looking little mech. So I'm gonna probably do a quick unboxing on it. It's hard to do gameplay on the 3DS. I might do like a couple minutes of gameplay, but it's one of the more difficult systems to try doing any kind of video work from. But I will probably unbox it just so I can get this ugly kind of beat up box out of the way. It was on clearance at Target, and that's why I picked it up. But I do like this figure though. That figure is pretty darn cool. All right, that is it. That is all I have picked up this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a favor, give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in a couple days. Bye.